So then, about 10 or 11, it's hard to know times because at this point, if you still had your phone, it was about dead. And there were no clocks. So I believe it was around 9 or 10 that they brought breakfast out. Guys, that shit was not even edible. Like, um, at that point when they brought breakfast out, you guys had made such a big deal trying to find me and make sure that I had my medications, that when the nurses came down and she checked my blood sugar, and at this point it was 100. Now, when I found out I was getting arrested, I had a feeling that something like this was going to happen. So I had candy on me, and I had eaten as much candy as I could and did not take any insulin. So I know my blood sugar was at least 400, if not way above that. And by the time she checked my blood sugar, I was at 100. So that just tells you, like, how long I sat there with no food. We ate this thing called cake. It was like this big, and it was so sugary, and I wouldn't take any insulin at this point after I ate either, because I was scared of how long they were going to leave me again. I would rather be high than go low and have a seizure or go into a coma and die. After I ate, my blood sugar shot up to 400, so that just shows you how unhealthy it is. Whatever it was that I ate just had that much sugar in it, which for a breakfast, like what's supposed to be a prisoner's nutritious meal, was nothing but just pure sugar. But I was thankful that I had something. But they still hadn't taken the handcuffs off, and a lot of people's handcuffs were so tight they couldn't even move their wrists to even hold a fork. So most people didn't even get to eat. My husband didn't even get to eat. So after that, then they went through and they picked everybody that they deemed had been a hassle or had went live, and they all booked us. And then we found out that after they booked us, they just let everybody else go while we went inside the prison. And they had told me they were going to expedite me out because of my health issues. They didn't want to deal with me. That was a lie. Well, they didn't want to take care of my health issues, so they didn't. But they weren't letting me out anytime soon. My bail got posted at 1:30. I didn't leave yesterday until 8:30 at night past curfew. And people were scared to even come and get me because they didn't want to be arrested trying to get to me. My husband, his bail was posted at the same time. He didn't get out until 2 o'clock in the morning. And we had to be back at the courthouse at 9. So they brought us in. They took a picture. They scanned like 2 of our fingers. And then we go through. They strip searched me. I finally got to give myself some insulin at this point, because they cut our cuffs off. I told them that I needed, my phone to stay in the jail because my insulin sensor is hooked up to it. And they said that they would. That was a lie. I didn't have access to my phone until today. I had to go first thing this morning to get it. So after they strip searched me, they took me into a holding cell, which the girls I were with, godsend. They kept everybody strong. But this was my first time in a prison ever. So, I've never been through the jail process before. But the other inmates were telling me that obviously what we went through is not ever supposed to happen. Our whole process, our whole day, like, it was all just so messed up. None of it should have happened. So we sat in the holding cell for forever. We got lunch. It was, a couple pieces of bread with some bologna. I don't know if you want to call it that. And a piece of cheese, and then 2 cookies, and then another 4-ounce cup of water, which at this point was only the only water we had at this point, after being outside all night. And we sat and we sat. I got my bail posted around 2:30. I got to make my first phone call. I called my mom. Everyone had been lying to them, telling them all kinds of different things on when we should be out. People got told that my husband posted bail when he hadn't, that he was out when he wasn't. They told him they were going to release me soon, but they didn't. It took so long, and the officers ignored all of us. They left us in these cells for hours with no contact, no update, no anything. I had to be on a glass door for half an hour to get medical attention because I felt like my blood sugar was going low. And that's scary. Like, people can die in there and they don't even care. And it's like, they were just sitting, they were just watching and laughing. And they were even taking photos of us, making fun of us. The fact that they think that they're superior to us is very alarming. They're here to serve and protect. The idea of a police officer is a good one. You're supposed to be there for your community. You're supposed to want to help people and to make the community safe. But they were just absolute monsters. I looked into the face of evil yesterday. And it was bad. And it's so easy to break in there. Like, you're just laying there, and they kept it, oh my God, 60 degrees. It was so cold. Guys, I could barely walk when I finally got out yesterday. I had shivered so much that even after I got out, I was just left shaking all night. Even when I was warm, when I finally actually got home, my body just couldn't even stop shaking. You couldn't sleep. There was no beds because you were in a holding cell. Half of the rooms didn't even have toilet paper. Like, my husband, they locked him in a room with no toilet paper or anything. They did some messed up things to my husband too. But let me tell you, man, when I finally got out, I hope that no one else needs to go through this, but at the same time, this is exactly what's happening at, ICE concentration camps around the country. And the fact that, America thinks that that's okay to treat human beings like they're not humans. For what? A peaceful protest? For breaking a curfew that's unconstitutional in the first place? All of the protesters were wearing masks, trying to social distance as much as we possibly could. And when we got in the prison, they confiscated all of our masks, wouldn't let us use hand sanitizer. The guards wouldn't wear masks. Dude, that prison was so disgusting. They never wiped down anything. Just the filth and the grime was unreal. You didn't even want to sit, but you had to. I mean, I don't know how you could wake up at the end of the day and even want to do that job knowing that that's what you do to people. I don't even know how they live with themselves at night, to be honest. But I hope that everyone learns from this experience, and if you're protesting, please be smart about it and make sure that you have a plan and it's organized. And please cell phones are so important. Without everyone going live and capturing this on video, justice will never be served. So, I got to meet up with lawyers today, and I hope that they get punished for what they did to us. but at least the story's out there. And I learned a lot from this, and I hope that you can learn a lot from this as well and know that, this is real and this is here and this is happening to everyday people. And that is a terrifying thought. So please share this, screen record it, get this out there, that things have to change. We cannot give away our basic human rights. It's just not acceptable. And we are better than this as people and as a country. And, united we stand, divided we fall. We need to band together and reclaim our country. And we need to start looking out for each other and being a real community. So I hope you learned from this as well.